What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again, coming at you with another Summoner's War video. Today we're going to be taking a look at our new RTA team, and then we'll show some gameplay versus one of my good friends and fellow Epic Fail members, Berk. Now, to start it off, you guys probably saw the summoning session last week here. The unit that essentially enabled my account to do a whole lot more aggressive kind of RTA teams and whatnot here is going to be Tiana. Now, to keep things short and sweet, Tiana is built essentially initially with Wusa's runes. I replaced Wusa runes with a different Swift set, and I wanted to give Tiana my fastest set. The reason being is that when I was playing around with some aggressive comps that had like ignore defense units such as Ciara, Kali, Lucian, I wanted my Tiana to be able to go first before my Beset, just in case they gave me 2 attack bar boosters and they didn't get rid of one here. So obviously it really wouldn't make too much sense to have Beset and then cleanse all the beneficial effects here. So I had to have her first, which required me to use my fastest set here. So taking a look at our stats right now, we're running speed, HP, and now the one thing that I kind of learned through this process over the past few days here is that even though this is my fastest set, I'm gonna see what I can do to make some changes here. So when we think about Tiana and what her role kind of takes on a play here, ultimately it kind of comes down to, you know, if I don't have something like I said, an ignore defense comp here, there's going to be a lot of gameplay throughout that. So what I want to do here is I want to make some changes to provide her a little bit more attack power, even maybe a little bit more critical rate, critical damage here. Obviously, for some of you guys out there, it may not really seem like the right way to go here, but when you think about our big threats in our RTA compositions, Tiana is generally not the one they like to focus on. They like to focus on some of the bigger threats here, and so because of the fact that they're not generally targeting her outright here, you can take advantage of having a little bit more offensive stats, so you can do some damage. Again, her second skill, right, does damage based on the enemy's attack speed here, and when we think about how speed is king and everybody has runes and their setups revolved around it here, she could probably do some pretty good damage once we get her rune correctly. But again, I've been trying to keep things a little bit simple, a little straightforward here. I need to make some changes. I need to do some speed tuning, but for the most part, she's done a pretty good job so far with what she has, and I need to make some adjustments as we go through here. The next unit that I generally go, and I'll kind of talk about my order of picks and whatnot here, but the next unit I'm going to move to is Jean. Now Jean, haven't made any changes to her since I've got here. She's sitting on a Violent Revenge set right now, speed, HP. Now, because of the fact that I still think, I hate to say that she's broken, but I mean the whole mechanic of that third skill, the cryo provocation, being able to essentially instantly recover turn and turn this one to essentially a 3-turn cooldown with a 2-turn soft CC control, it's really strong, and it really assist me with whatever other elemental units that I use in order to control the match here. So and then the fact that I have a run of revenge set, this is kind of controversial here because generally you want to rock maybe like a will or something like that, especially if you're not going to get the first turn, and so for me personally, I basically am using the runes that I got here, but I don't mind throwing in a revenge set there, because at the stage that I'm at right now, for me to be able to push out somebody or be able to beat somebody that is better than me, I'm going to need to incorporate any kind of RNG I can. So if I was fortunate enough to, or unfortunate enough to maybe not get a provoke, but maybe they realize that John is just a pain and they want to deal with it, having that counterattack with a chance of sending on the first skill has been really nice, and it's actually come in clutch for a few times here. So we got John. John is going to be the first one to go after my strippers. And then outside of that, it's going to be the next one that we're going to look at is Varad. Now Varad hasn't had any change here. He's on a violent will set, speed, defense, HP here. I'm really happy with him. I haven't made any changes for a while here, but I've been really trying to improve the effective HP while maintaining the high amount of accuracy. I've been shooting for about 70 to 75% accuracy on all of my hard CC or soft CC units here. I think Jean was around 68%, and he's everybody else has been 70% or up here. So overall, not too bad. I think that brings us at like 222. So again, with Jean being at 225, Varad goes right afterwards. Gets the freeze, gets the attack bar reduction, and is able to push everybody back so I can come in with my next unit here. So the next unit that I generally use is going to be Rica. Now Rica here, she's gonna need a little TLC. She is running Despair HP defense. Now, mind you, I know she doesn't look like she needs a little TLC, but the speed tuning needs to be improved here. Now, mind you, because of the fact that I'm using a Varad in this situation, and he's with a good amount of accuracy, he lands more times than not that attack roll reduction, even if he doesn't get the freeze. So that's allow me to, you know, get away with having a little less speed. But, you know, as far as making the changes, you know, moving forward, I definitely want to go ahead and take advantage of it. Now, I think you guys might have seen here back in the day, I had a little bit more attack on her. I probably was rocking like 22k HP, and then I had like upwards of 1800 total attack here. So I did like that build, but ultimately it's a CC unit. I was using her for that. And so I went with a little bit more of a tankier build because I did run into people that were rocking some kind of unit that had an ignore defense ability, let's say like a CR per se, and since, you know, CR had the elemental disadvantage, it really didn't matter because she had the bombs and she could still do a good amount of damage on them and take them out. So yeah, not too bad. Again, I'm liking the accuracy, liking the thickness, but I need to improve the speed just a little bit. Okay, so those are the main ones there. And then the last one that I've been using is Chiwu. So Chiwu, I haven't made any changes on him, but funny enough, his build is kind of the way I want it to be for the time being. So again, similar to Tiana, you know, he's in that position where, you know, he's not really the threat that people are going to go for here. So I'm looking to set him up with a little bit more attack or a little bit more critical rate so that he can do some damage. I might even run a critical damage rune on him again, just to you know, do a little bit of damage at the later stages of the game when that attack power ramps up here. So, you know, he's also going to be faster than my hard CC and soft CC units here. The accuracy is a little low considering some of the units resistance levels and using resistance lead, you know, units that I have to deal with. So overall, right here, I think the biggest thing for me right now is to improve that accuracy, because if I get in a situation where, and this is going to be happening more times than not, they ban Tiana and they allow me to have the previous, you know, 4 units that I talked about here, we're essentially reliant upon this this third skill, right, in order for me to get that win here. So funny enough, as you can see, I have this one. This is one of the few that have been unskilled, and you know, it has essentially a purpose here. But you know, given the fact that this is a CC comp that doesn't get, you know, it's not over in like one shot there. Yeah, this might be something that I skill up down the road here. But for now, for the time being, I went ahead and just left this unskilled because again, I didn't have the right units to make it work. Now with Tiana, I have a reason to use this, where I might be throwing it up a little bit higher on the priority list. So outside of that, I just wanted to talk about like some of the alternatives and some of the things that I'm thinking about, because I know that a lot of people that are seeing this are probably like, hey, you know, hey, yeah, you got all these nat 5s or whatnot here. That's not going to really help me out because I don't really have those units. So some of the things that I was thinking about right now as far as options for different types of CC that I'm going to be looking to build is going to be for a daughter-based unit. I'm looking to bring in the Water Homunculus. I think his build that he currently has, I'm running the complete end one. I'm running the bottom one here that gives me all the AoEs and the potential to bring in continuous damage and provide more continuous damage if I have more harmful effects here. So with regards to having Jean with the Provoke, that's going to give us a chance to get ourselves a couple more debuffs and again do a little bit more damage over time. So he's an option as well. As far as another stripper per se, I could incorporate Gemini. Gemini is one that I would actually sub out for Chiwu, if and only if the other opponent's immunity is like a one buff immunity. So it's not like a Wusa or a Beta, but maybe a Harmonia or a Tiana, for example, or a Veladril, for example, where I'm not, you know, relying upon stripping every single beneficial effect that they have versus just one. So of course, it could be quite the gamble if they are running a shield set on there, but for the majority of the people that I've been running into, it's been all wheel here. So again, I'm not going to take that gamble if I think that they do have beneficial effects here, because it comes down to if they ban Tiana, then you know Gemini's, you know, a couple of missed attacks early on, my team's going to be pretty vulnerable. It's pretty much going to be over, right? As far as excuse me. Now, as far as Rica goes. For the alternatives that I've been throwing in lately, I have been incorporating Helen a little bit if I needed a fire unit that can, you know, either give me more turn advantage or give me another reason to provide damage or do more damage here. even though the dots I feel is a pretty strong given the fact that we're controlling. The defense breaks are nice, and it does help out as we move into the later stages of the matches here. I have incorporated Charlotte when I need to for the attack bar reduction as a substitute for Varad if I need that elemental advantage, but she's not speed 2 unfortunately, and I don't have a despair set on her, so it's a little bit more of a gamble because again I'm trying to run as much or provide as much RNG as possible. I'm trying to think if there's any other big units that I've been using outside of that. But that's the main core has been the Varad, Rica, and Jean having the attack bar reduction. Having the slow alongside the dots. I think the AoE slow is pretty paramount. It really allows my Jean to, get through his skills and abilities so that once they're kind of like, maybe that provoke or maybe that freeze with the attack bar reduction is just about to run out here, I'm ready to go with my 2-turn provoke. There's been multiple times where I've had the chance to potentially put the provoke on, even though they still had 1 turn of it because I was able to produce the attack bar, and even had a better chance if I substituted Rica out for Helena because Helena also reduces the attack bar, again trying to just control them as much as possible here. So it's been pretty fun. I've had a blast with the composition. Now mind you, I do play around with the YOLO comp that's a little bit more ignore defense style. The Ciara, the Bastet, the Tiana, Kali, Lucian, because right now my Odin is still not built. I'm still leveling up fodder, but it's done pretty good. But I've had more success with the CC comp versus the Lucian, YOLO like ignore defense comper. So for the time being, that's what I'm going to be rocking. And you guys, as always, are more than welcome to kind of share your comments on this. Now, one of the projects that I really have, and I want to put it out there, is that I'll have to take a look at all the units and see what I can do. But I truly believe that there might be something we can do to create like a free-to-play option for this. Now, I know it's going to be hard to do it, but if you have the rune quality, I think you can make it work. I think that with regards to the CC, the dots and whatnot here, I'm going to be playing around with weird units. Like I said, the Water Homunculus, maybe even Beretta. Like, Lord knows people at this stage of the game are not even using Beretta anymore for some more dots and a more attack bar manipulation for the unit that I'm concerned about the most. Gemini is obviously a good stripper there, but we also have units like Aquila or like Soha, but more so, for units that have a 100% activation rate on the cleanse that can be a little bit more reliable. So again, we'll have to see how it goes. Obviously Jean's a free-to-play unit, so that's always going to fit in there. But I feel like there's going to be a fair amount of free-to-play options that we can take advantage of, and even like I said, make it work. I just want to go ahead and show this because I know that the replay, they move pretty quick here, but basically I use the same 5 or the top 5 that I've been choosing thus far, and just went with this one here. So this one was a interesting go. Once he saw me go with the first pick Tiana, he loaded up pretty hard with the beneficial or with the immunity here. Generally, I still stick with the same CC picks if they only have 1 immunity, but I went ahead and just went with the flow and just see what I could do. Now, I took a big gamble leaving that village on there because if he can cleanse everything and put in the immunity, I'll be in trouble. But the Vertihill I knew was going to be a really big pain, and I was okay with him getting the first turn. And fortunate enough for me, he left Tiana in this situation, so it allowed me to get the control here. Now, mind you, he has the majority of those units here runed on Violent. He wasn't running the Swift set on that Veladril here, so at any given time, he can get a Violent proc here and get out of it. But the thing about this is that the Jean is just such a crucial unit for the 2-turn provoke that even if he does get the Violent proc, he still has to attack the Jean. So as you can see, I started focusing on Veladril. I felt like he was the one that I wanted to get away with because I didn't want him to Violet proc and cleanse everything. If I lost any provokes right there, if I couldn't control where the damage was going, I just knew I was going to be in a really bad place here. So now I'm looking at Helena because she has those defense breaks, and I know his Berk. I know his Perna is runed really, really well. So I didn't want him to get the chance to put the defense break and have his Perna get with the war shot here, because even if I focus on Perna and put the dots in, I'm still going to have to deal with the passive revive, right? So I got lucky there, got a Violent proc, got the 2-turn provoke here, but again, I mean, proc or not, it's still with the attack bar reduction, the slow, it's worked really, really good. It's funny. I mean, like as far as like attack bar reduction, there's quite a few AOE attack bar reducers out there. I think we could even make an argument for, who am I thinking of? The water iris, or yeah, the water iris. I can't even think of lapis. Like lapis would be a fun one here to play around with. I might even play around with lure, even though he's not you know, on the despair side, even though he's not gonna work out like perfectly. Again, you know, attack bar reduction. If we can find a unit that can slow, and I think his second skill, Lure second skill, provides a random slow that hits multiple units. I mean, I think there's a couple of options for this for some of you guys that haven't been too fortunate with like a Ganymede Hathor and just cycle through. But that's gonna be it, guys. My apologies, as I probably talked about 75% longer than I needed to, but I really got excited about this this video. I know it's not like super crazy because it's not live, but you know, like I said before, you know, when you get a new unit and the unit is pretty impactful on your account, it opens you up to so many other options. And now I'm really curious. Like I said, I'm now looking to see what I can do as a free-to-play option with the other you know, free-to-play units like Jean that we can you know work in there, because again, that's a great unit that can work in this. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of teams I can do and see if I can go free-to-play, maybe on the free rhythm over there, make a video or something like that if I get some time. I'm going to be working, but I'm really going to try. And like I said, if you guys got some units that I'm not thinking about right now, put it in the comment section down below, and I'll be curious to test it out and have some fun with it come this weekend, okay? That is officially going to be it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's your boy Childish, your Childish Plays checking out. Take care, and we will see you all in the next one. I'm out.